Have you ever felt like you're trying and nothing is working out? Like you really want to get something accomplished, but things are not working on your behalf? Like you get frustrated? Like what's going on?
Yeah, like when we continuously put in all this effort into business ideas and things that are going on in our life and nothing ever seems to work out. It doesn't seem like it's moving forward. We don't see any results.
Right.
And you just start comparing yourself to other people who seem to be so much farther ahead. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
And those feelings of stuck are what get us in a thought loop that can be just disastrous.
Right.
You start drawing conclusions like, well, I'm just not good at this, or this isn't for me, that kind of stuff.
True. You get sometime in this quiet frustration. What am I doing wrong?
Exactly.
And then you have this kind of false belief that you're in the wrong path.
Right.
Or
exactly.
This is not for me. What am I doing?
Exactly.
And then you feel like like you're lost.
Yeah.
After all the effort that you put it in.
Right.
And this is where people actually quit.
Yeah. We've done that a million times.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we were struggling this week with this very problem. When we were both very frustrated with the podcast, we've been putting in so much effort behind the scenes to make everything work. We got really frustrated this week and kind of, in my mind, I don't know where your mind went, but my mind was like, ugh, God, what are we doing? Maybe this isn't for us. Maybe I should just go get a job.
Well, I didn't. My mind didn't go there.
Of course not, Mr. Optimism. Well, I realized that, in those moments of frustration for myself this week, I know that you said you weren't feeling exactly that same frustration that I was, but those kind of panic thoughts, if you will, hit me sometimes. I try to stay above them and ahead of them, but they do arise, of course. And I'm like, my worst case scenario is like, oh God, I have to go get a job. But then I realized as I was researching this episode that the problem isn't the effort that we're putting in. It's how we're actually measuring the progress, because I know that the things that we're doing are moving us forward. And I know that the outcome is going to be great, but the effort that we're putting in isn't showing big results right now. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. I think that they want to see the big results immediately, and that's just not how it works.
We knew when we got into this, you're doing the work every single day. You focus on the topics. You focus on the things that matters to grow the channel or to grow podcasts and get good content out there. So we knew that this is going to require a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we're just acknowledging, hey, got into like a panic mode. Hopefully I don't get there.
Frustrated.
Yeah, frustrated. But I knew that all this is going to happen and I'm going to get in prepared. You know what I mean? Like I'm prepared.
I was prepared, but that doesn't make it any easier.
No, it doesn't make it any easier.
Just because I know these ebbs and flows are going to happen doesn't make them any easier to go through.
It's just, again...
Well, it does. Sorry to cut you off, but it does make it somewhat easier. It makes it easier to come out of it versus before when I didn't understand that pattern or that flow. It makes it, I don't stay down as long as I used to.
Yeah.
But they're still hard. It's still hard.
Yeah. We are putting all the episodes together, the content together. The idea is just to bring value to those out there that are stuck or going in a life transition. So we've been planning this since the last year.
Yeah.
Now, for those out there that are trying to start a new project or a new career or a new, whatever the case might be, you have to kind of set up your mind before you do the move, because you're not going to have the answers right in front of you. So there's basically a leap of faith.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot to do that, to kind of, all right, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to follow through. Because guess what? You're not going to see much progress in the beginning.
No.
And what I've been doing to keep me motivated, I go and check our sales. I check our website to see what's working and what's not. I go to work to try to see the results of what can I make better that day. And we've been doing that with the listings, and we've been doing that with the podcast, trying to we can record better videos, or how to have better audio or a better message that can help whoever is listening out there. The whole idea is just to, when you're hearing our episodes, okay, Ken and Kim are doing this. They're going through these challenges, and I'm going through these challenges too. So I want to implement some of those things that they're doing because they are pushing forward as I am trying to push forward.
Yeah. 15 years ago or however long ago when we started going down this path of entrepreneurship, our mindset was completely different. And we've learned so much from our previous failures,
Learning
experiences, or expensive educations. We've learned so much from those experiences that now we're coming from a place of experience and managed and worked through those stressful kind of events that were occurring when we had our restaurants. So now we're more prepared in this new venture that we're doing. However, we weren't prepared for you to lose your job planning this venture or executing this venture.
But the thing is, every time we were recording or putting the episodes together and I was employed and I had my job, I didn't have the energies. I felt like, man, I'm just putting 20% of my energies out there. And I was just frustrated. I want to deliver something better on basically going to work, putting all my energies. I was doing the opposite, just putting 20% on my own passion, right? I felt like that's not fair because I just felt like that's not even me.
Right.
Like I'm just basically putting 20% of myself. And that made me angry.
Yeah.
And that created more frustration and was like a snowball effect.
Exactly.
But now I can just do the things and make sure that I'm generating value.
Right.
Because now I'm doing it with a full intention. And I will get better as I go.
Right.
So you're starting a new project. You need to figure it out how you're going to do. And you have to embrace for impact. Because it's not going to be easy.
Right. Same thing for people that are just like starting a new relationship. I think back to like when we first started or any of the relationships I've been in the beginning, it's really hard because you have to like, of course, there's like the honeymoon phase or whatever. But like you have to get to know the person and know how they operate. That takes years. It doesn't you just don't have like this beautiful, wonderful relationship right out of the gate where you understand everything and you're not going to have fights. It takes a long time to build the foundation of anything good in this world, like a new career. Like you're not going to just start out this wonderful employee who knows all, everything. Like everything takes time to build. It's not necessarily that you're on the wrong path or that you're doing the wrong thing. The problem isn't people's effort that they put into things. It's how they're measuring progress.
When you don't see progress in this new path that you took, it's really hard to see the results, right? Because you are walking through and you're wondering, okay, but there's no movement. There's no results.
Right.
So it's really hard to see if you are actually moving the needle or if you're actually moving from point A to point B. Oh, yeah, now this is a big change now for me. This is exactly what I want to be. No, it takes a long time to get there. So you don't see the big win right away. You see it at some point when you realize it. Oh, yeah, this is exactly what I want to be. But all the wins, they've been happening little by little, and you didn't see them before. They were happening, they were accumulating like a compound effect.
Right. Like people are looking for the big wins, the big moment, like, yes, now I can buy that new house, or now I can buy that new car, or, now I see the millions in my bank. Like people are waiting for that big moment, but that's not, it's made up of all these little wins along the way, these little moments that are changing the outcome, but you don't see it yet. So the result doesn't happen right away. And that's where people kind of lose momentum or want to change direction. And it's painful. You feel like you put in all this effort, you showed up every day, you did the work, you made the things, whatever it took. And then you feel like, for what?
For what? Exactly.
And then for me personally, that's when I'm like, nope, I quit. That's not working. Pivot, change direction. I'm going to start something new. That wasn't a good idea anyways because XYZ or whatever.
Trying to bring excuses to why it's not working and why it's not for you.
Right.
Because you're not seeing the results right away.
Yeah.
So your brain is not rewarding, like, oh, you're burning yourself out.
Right.
You're putting all this energy or money or feelings or intentions and nothing is happening.
Right.
So you're basically stuck. And that's why you kind of try to, okay, I need to reframe.
Right. Well, that feels like that nothing is happening. That's not reality.
That's not reality.
No.
Yeah, we know that. By the time you see results, the real progress has already happened and you're not seeing it.
Right.
This is where this shift becomes really important.
Exactly. And there's really two ways to measure progress. There's what you can see. That's like the fancy cars, the big houses, the money in the bank, that kind of stuff. And then there's also what you can't see yet. And most people only focus on what they can see, which is the money, the success, the big toys. But those are the delayed results. What's actually creating the results is the things that you can't see. And those are the things like how you act, how you think, how you show up, how you're showing up for whatever it is that you're doing. And really, that's the foundation of everything.
Yep.
And that's why people are getting so frustrated because it's not the big showy result that they want. But the foundation is the important part, right? It's just like a house. Like when you're building a house, like, yeah, they're pouring a concrete into the foundation. Like they broke the ground and the house is going in, right? Like it's exciting until you're like, oh, well, it's just a concrete foundation. But that's the structure that holds the whole house together.
Exactly. It's just the same as like when you're going to the gym, you don't see the results. You have to go to the gym so many times. Or if you're on a diet, right? You have to, okay, I'm on a diet this week.
Yeah.
No one is seeing it.
Right.
Right. And you actually you see yourself in the mirror and you don't even see it.
Yeah.
For some reason, your brain doesn't pick that up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks after, you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I need to lose 40 pounds.
Right.
And that's why you're like, oh,
yeah.
I have 39 more to go. How am I going to do this?
Well,
and then other factors will actually affect you. Like, all right, so the diet is expensive, or maybe the diet is not as delicious. I'm not used to eat that. Or it's actually now making you feel sick. Sometimes you get sick with the diet, and it's just because your body's not used to. So it's mindset, like you said, and it's actually your physical body needs to actually take it to. When I'm working for the podcast, I get tired, like in my mind and in my body too, even though I'm not doing anything physical. You know what I mean? But I feel like my neck or my shoulders, or it's just like a sum of a lot of factors. But that resistance is that something is happening. That I can see that you're about to rip the veil. I can feel it. The resistance is giving you a sign. If there's no resistance, there's no change. There's no movement.
Right.
So that's like with everything.
When I was doing Pilates for 3.5 years or so, I didn't see any changes in my body, but I kept going. I was going like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And before I got injured, I felt stronger, of course, like throughout the course of, but then after I got injured, I was looking back at pictures and I saw myself before I went. And then I saw like a current picture and I was like, oh, he really was, being honest, or he really meant what he was saying, because I wasn't seeing the progress, but looking at those physical pictures, I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I really do see the difference.
The brain looks for the quick reward.
Yeah.
It triggers just, okay, where's the little trophy? The brain doesn't default to, oh,
this is progress.
No.
Yeah. It wants the reward.
Yeah, it wants the reward. The brain knows that you're putting your mind and your body under stress somehow.
Its function is to just keep you safe, or, what's happening. It's not looking for like progress and like growth. It's just looking to keep you safe. That's its primary function. We're judging our progress by something that hasn't even had time to show up yet. We constantly are judging our progress by results, and your life is always catching up to who you're becoming. And this is why it feels like nothing is working.
Yeah, there is always a gap between the work you're doing and the results you see.
For sure.
It's like an invisible gap. And the gap that I'm talking about is when you make the decision to work in this project, or to meet your soulmate, or to lose weight or gain weight, whatever the case might be. The gap is the time in between the internal change that you're having when you're deciding this is what I'm doing, and the external result, which is, the goals or the final accomplishment. The first change that needs to happen is internally.
Yeah.
It's in your mind first,
right?
The decision. Like when we decided to do the podcast, like I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this. We were going to record the episodes.
Yeah.
Regardless of
all the obstacles, the feelings of doubt, and all those things that go into it.
Exactly. This needs to be done. and we're doing it. So again, we're just becoming the internal change has already happened or is happening in order now for us to see the results. And we're seeing the results.
We are seeing the results in the small shifts and the small things that we're building and doing, the foundation. Again, we are seeing those results.
And everyone starts small.
Yeah.
If you go back to Jeff Bezos, you've seen those videos at Amazon and his garage.
Yeah.
Everyone starts small. They don't feel ashamed or they don't feel bad about how the way they started.
Well, I'm sure they did when they were there and they felt the same things we're talking about. They felt the resistance.
The imposter syndrome that we talk about.
The imposter syndrome, the doubt, the self-doubt that creeps in, the wanting to quit when it gets hard and this isn't working and who am I to think I can do all of this?
So it was just a huge internal change because he left his job. People know that. A lot of people know the story better than me out there, but
he had to push through the resistance is the bottom line.
And it wasn't easy.
I'm sure it wasn't. And it's the same thing we're going through. We're not building an Amazon, but we are feeling the resistance and we're doing it anyways.
Yeah, this is part of the process.
Yeah.
So whoever is listening, if you're going through a big life change event or a transition, you have to make a decision. The first thing is, all right, set up your mind. I am doing it. You're not going to see the results right away, but you have to celebrate the small wins to keep you motivated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same with we had 50 downloads. Yeah, you posted in our Facebook group that we had our first 50 downloads in the first month or something like that from Buzzsprouts.
Yep.
And we know what we're going to post anyways because it's like we started with 0, right?
We have 50. Now we have 100. Now we have 1,000. Now we have 10,000.
100 million.
So
building the momentum
you're
celebrating the small wins because we know that that's important.
This is my first stepping stone, right? So, and then again, for whoever's working out there in their projects, if you're losing weight, if you see the half pound or the pound that you lost 1 week, hey, check.
Mm-hmm.
Now your next step is just another pound.
Right.
Instead of just focusing on all the 40 pounds that I said before that you want to lose.
Yeah, right.
How can I lose 1 pound?
Yeah.
Then 2 pounds.
Yeah.
3 pounds. At the 10th pound mark, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
People are, noticing it. And I'm like, whoa, now I'm pumped. You have 30 more to go. And it seems like it's going to be really hard. It could take a year.
Right.
But you have 2 options. And or continue doing that or go back.
Yeah.
Go back to
and not
your
only,
old habits and then you won't lose the weight that you wanted to lose or gain.
Not only are you looking at the number on the scale in that example, you're looking at the small wins you had there in your foundation. You're looking at the new lifestyle you're building. You're looking at the new mindset that you're building. You're looking at, are you working out now whereas you weren't before? Are you eating cleaner, healthier as you weren't before? Like those are the wins that are building the foundation. And those are the wins that people overlook because that didn't get them the 40 pounds on the scale that they really ultimately want. That's the big result that they're looking for. But those small little wins are what we're building you up for that big win.
Exactly.
And you can't discount those because that's what matters. Those are what make the big win. Without the small wins, you don't get the big win. It's just that simple. So when people see, the 1 pound on the scale, that's when they want to quit because they're like, screw this. I've spent all this time working on my mindset. I've spent all this time creating new habits. I bought all this new food. I bought all these health shakes and supplements and I'm going to the gym and all I see is 1 pound. And they want to change direction. Well, maybe I need to go on a different type of diet or maybe I need to go on paleo or keto or whatever. I can't keep up with all the new diet trends, but that's when they get frustrated and they want to quit.
Yeah.
And that's what has happened to us a million times. Me specifically, I think I'm worse than you, where I just start on all these projects I get so passionate about, and then I see no momentum, and I pivot. I change direction. I'm like, nope, that's not working. That wasn't meant to be.
Sometimes what I try to do is just to I focus in results. I know you focus in building, right? But I go right to the metrics because I like to check my metrics and stuff. When I see the little bars going up or whatever, it could be with the sales, it could be with the podcast, and with the sales also back when we had the restaurants. All those bars were going down, but instead of going up.
A downward trend.
But every little trend
would
make me excited. Yeah, give me a boost. Okay, so then I'll grab hold onto that.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's when we're going back to the 1 pound. Hey, that's your bar right there. That's an indication that it's working.
Right.
Don't quit. So,
something you're doing is working.
And again, this is just not only to lose weight or gain weight or to make money. It's just formula to get something accomplished. Because that's what we've been doing for a long time now, for over 10 years. So grab that bar. This is happening.
Yeah, ground yourself into it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is working. So what I'm doing is working.
How you focus, how you think, how you respond to this event or this thing that you're going through is one of the things that is really important is how you act. Again, it's how you act while you're doing it. Right? If you need to reset, go for a walk, take a cold shower, watch a movie, but don't drop it. Like, oh no, fuck it. I'm done with it. No, reset because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I need to reset. I need to take a long nap.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did this week when I was feeling frustrated for like 2 days. I was really frustrated because nothing was moving the needle. And I was just like, okay, well, yes, I still worked. I put in time, but instead of like working as much as I did, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and read with my daughter. Or we went for several walks with the dog.
Yeah.
I scrolled aimlessly on my phone, which I generally try not to let myself do too much. But I allowed myself to do it a little more. I think I took a nap. I forced myself to work out and focus on different things rather than just what I'm working on.
You are focusing on the frustration that the things are not working out. So allow yourself to drop the towel 1 day, max 2 days, and go back at it. So if you need a reset, do the reset. And that reset is just going to give you a boost.
Yeah, they're necessary.
Reset is necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm so guilty of forcing myself to work through those moments. That means you have to work harder and sit at your desk longer. But now I'm realizing, like, why? I'm not being effective. I'm not being effective sitting at my desk trying to force something that's not happening right now. Like that mood or that momentum or whatever I'm looking for, it's not coming to me right now. So just stop.
So everything boils down to, am I thinking differently than I used to? Am I reacting differently than I used to? Am I showing up more than I used to or less than I used to get all this stuff accomplished?
Yeah.
Am I more aware than I used to be? All these things are just the practical check for you in order to continue moving forward.
Right. Those are like the real indicators as you're moving along. It's not the end results that you're looking for at this point. It's those kind of indicators to mark your progress.
Yep. You got to check your KPIs, baby.
This part is actually the biggest phase of growth where everyone kind of gets stuck and it sucks. But this is it. This is the meat of it.
Yeah.
This phase is the growth.
Right.
And everyone goes through it.
Yeah.
And it's not normalized. It's not normal to show this part of the growth. What we normalize as a society is the end result. And so it makes other people feel unworthy or behind.
Yeah.
Or like they're not good enough, or they need to change direction again.
Yeah. And no one talks about it. If you go to social media, all these channels or whatever, they're just telling you, do, you got to do it. You don't be lazy, or go to the gym, or everything is right there for you, or show up in social media, all these things just to do it. But what about the process? No one talks about how painful the process it is.
Which is a good point of how awful it is, because you're expecting somebody to go from point A to point Z.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Yeah.
You have to go through all the steps that person is talking about. Like, the person is like, no, just do it. But you already went through the steps.
Yeah.
I have to go through those steps and those learning processes and all of the shit that you have to go through.
Exactly. Because it's easier to talk about
when you're there.
Oh, yeah, super easy. But when you're talking in the middle of it, as we are right now, where you're seeing black and white, red, blue, all the freaking patterns. Am I quitting? Am I continue moving forward? What the heck am I doing? Now I'm depressed. I lost my girlfriend because I'm working too hard in this new project, whatever the case might be. You don't even know. There's so many moving parts. And this podcast is all about the moving parts
how to get you there. From A to B to C, the stepping stones rather than going from A to Z, because that's not how people work.
No.
They don't go from A to Z. And I know you are very guilty of this. You always want to go from A to Z, and that causes a lot of friction in our business ventures together. Is we're at A and you want to immediately be at Z. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
We have to go to B first and then C and da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, no. And we had this argument yesterday. Like, you didn't want to post a crappy podcast.
Oh, don't let me talk about it.
And this has been for like the past 10 episodes. And I listen to them and I'm like, there's really good content in there. Yeah. There's really good lessons in there that we have learned, and people will benefit from those.
Yeah, well, I push myself harder.
Just because the microphones weren't perfect doesn't mean somebody can't take a good lesson away from it.
Push myself hard because I want to deliver something good. And I just I'm really hard with myself. And I don't see it. I notice it after.
We've had this conversation a million times. Yeah. We're not starting from perfection. We're starting right where we are. And this is where we are. And this is like the crux of the show, is to show people to go from A to B to C.
Right. So this is the phase of the growth.
Right.
That no one sees.
Right.
The struggles, the identity shift.
And it's hard.
The inner work.
And it sucks.
What do you call it? The child inner work.
Healing the inner child.
Oh my God. There is so much work that needs to be done. But it usually happens right before things shift.
The big breakthrough. But you can't get to that part, the end result, the big breakthrough, unless you go through these things first.
Yep.
And we are living, breathing examples of that.
Right.
We are in that shit right now. And it's hard. And it sucks. But we keep showing up and we're pushing through it. So we can do it. Anyone can do it.
Absolutely. We know that we're not behind. We're in the middle of the process.
Right.
It's really hard to see the future, and it's really easy to see the past, because the past just creeps in and sabotage your results.
Yeah. We're here to end all that.
So our results, or your results, are just delayed. They are not denied, because you are showing up and conquer whatever you need to conquer or become whoever you want to become.
Yes. And just keep going, because this is the part that actually matters.
Absolutely.
If anybody takes anything from this episode, I think it should be that this is your sign, that this is the part that matters, and this is when you need to keep going.
All right. So we'll see you the next time.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey there. If you like this episode, please like, share, and join our community. And check out our website at kenandkimpodcast.com for free tools and resources. We'll talk to you next time.